In this video, we're going to be taking a look at a custom request by Carol who wanted to know how to go about creating this type of a frame effect versus what we had shown previously, which was this kind of frilly frame. And so it's really easy to do. What we're going to do is come into our basic shape tool and we'll select our heart. And you'll get different results depending on the type of shape that you're creating a frame for. So you can see our heart is roughly 6 inches. So we're going to come over here to our stone tab, and we're going to just set this to 8 offsets. And if you shift or right click on island fill, it'll go to the outside. So then what we're going to do is we're going to select the whole design, take a look at the overall size, which right now is only set at a little over 8 inches. So I think what we'll do is we'll go back here. Let's offset a few more times. Get this design width about what we want. 9.5 inches or so is good. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and select all of our lines. So what I did here, come to the outside, hold down my Alt key and Marquee select across those lines, all of them but the first one. And then we're going to add stones. And you can see what it did, it added stones there, right? And then what we're going to do is we're just going to select our first line. And this is a new function here in Beta 8 where it gives us our stone count of that first path, which is 122 stones. So now what we're going to do is we're going to set the stone count for all of the rest of them. So select all the rest of them and set it to 122. And then click Add Stones. And then you can see you will get basically the same result. Let's go ahead and add a weed box. And you can see we get essentially the same result that we got over here. Okay. Now, if you want a little bit more spacing between, let's go ahead and lock. I'll just right click on my weed box and lock it. If you want a little bit more spacing between, what we could do here is we could select all of them and we could use a smaller stone count. So maybe I think we did 120 earlier. Let's just do 100 stones and click Add Stones. And so you can see how it gets spaced out a little bit wider, a little bit wider. And then this one here in the middle, what we'll do is we'll come over here to our glitter fill, and let's go ahead and fill that with our orange glitter, for example. And then what I might do is I might just delete one stone path, just to create a little bit different effect that way. So you can see, it looks really nice. And that is how you create this type of effect. So the key is you go to the inside path, see how many stones are there, in this case 122, and then determine how many stones you want, but each subsequent offset would have the exact same number of stones, and this is the effect that you'd get. Now, what if we change it? So if we click on our first path, you have 100 stones. So if we click on our next path, what if we change that stone count to, say, 96? Okay, and then we change the next stone path to 92. So as we go out, we're doing 4 stones less every time we go out. So 92 minus 4 is 88. This is where your math skills from back in the day will come in handy. And then from 88, we'll go 84. Add stones. And then our next path from 84 will be 80. And then our next path from 80 will be 76. Then 72. Oops. Click on Add Stones. And then from 72, we'll go 68. And lastly, we'll go to 64. All right, so now you can see what type of a different effect that we have now. And I actually prefer this one. It's a little bit more interesting. And the more difference you do, the frillier it gets. Okay, so for example, this first line again has 100. So the next one has 96. Well, what if we just drop down 10 just to see as we go out? So, because that'll be easy math, right? So we'll do 90. We'll do 80. We'll do 70. We'll do 60. I've never done one like this where there's been that many stone difference between them, so it'll be interesting to see what we get. 50. 40. I think the most I've ever done different is 6. So this will be interesting to do 10. So 30. And then 20. And then 10. And we'll step back and take a look and see what we got now. So now you can see we have a very similar effect to what we started with here, with a more frilly type frame. So just by playing with those numbers, you can create some really interesting looks that way. So experiment a little bit, and that is how you can control the various differences. Either set each subsequent path to the same stone count, or each subsequent path you can vary the stone counts as well. And we could actually come in here and click one of these if we want to, and we can change our stone color of that path, and that can have some interesting effects too. So, you know, as long as the stones are still on that path, you can see how you can create some really interesting effects that way. So Carol, I hope that answered your question, and you can experiment with the type of shape that you're looking to create a frame for, and experiment with the different settings to create different looks that you're looking to do. Thanks for watching.